What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Espresso, and welcome back to another Infinite Warfare video here today on the channel. With this one, we're going to be talking about something that does slightly bother me right now at this current point in time within Infinite Warfare. This isn't anything where I'm going to try and throw some shade at Infinity Ward or anything like that, but rather it's an issue that I want to bring up and then also engage with you guys in a little bit of a discussion on, that being Salvage in Infinite Warfare. Now, before we get too far into it, if you guys enjoy the video, make sure you drop a like down below, and of course, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe. And of course, I got a giveaway going on with a couple of my good YouTube friends here. We're doing a giveaway of Infinite Warfare's Legacy Edition and 3 tubs of G Fuel. That ends in, I believe, 2 days, so make sure you get your entries in. Link is down there in the description. But what I'm talking about with Salvage right now is that I feel like it's a little bit problematic, because at this point in time, it does take a decent amount of time to get any sort of prototype weapon that you want here out of the crafting system and Salvage. You can, yes, ultimately get it out of supply drops as well, and you can get more Salvage out of supply drops too, but overall, that in itself just takes a lot of time to grind out the necessary keys for a rare supply drop to get a chance at some of these Salvage bonuses, and then of course the prototype weapons you might want to skip around for. But in reality, was this something that was meant to be as hard as it is, or as difficult as it is right now? I'm gonna reference a little bit of an interview that PlayStationLifestyle.net did with Jordan Hirsch from Infinity Ward over at COD XP. Whenever the event happened, there was a lot of press and a lot of things involved with that, and a lot of developer interviews. And one of the things that was discussed in this interview was a little bit about the crafting system, in which Hirsch stated that the crafting system is really actually pretty simple. While you play the game, you're earning Salvage, which is the crafting currency. So you play the game, and if you win more, you'll get a little bit more. It's mostly tied to the amount of time you've played, so you'll get the crafting currency, and then you'll go into our armory, which will have a list of all the base weapons and all the rare prototype weapons. So you can select the weapon you want to craft, hit a button, and craft it. More rare weapons will take more crafting currency to unlock. Now, completely in that context, disregard everything you know about Infinite Warfare right now. At this point in time, this did sound tremendously like it would be based off of something you'd earn every single game. Kind of like currency in terms of keys and crypto keys in Black Ops 3, where you earn a certain amount every single game, and if you get more in terms of the win category, you earn more as a little bonus for Salvage. But right now, that's not the case. It doesn't really follow these guidelines at all. The only real connection and basis, I guess you could say, is the time played, because you have to do more in the mission teams to rank up in that, and then every so often you get salvaged. It's not something like every game where wins really kind of dictate how much more of a bonus you get, so it's on a per game basis, but rather it's more of a per level basis, and there's still rather large increments and intervals in between the mission team ranks here with this. Now, I do very much so agree with the idea that mission teams are very cool. It definitely encourages a lot more in terms of objective and different challenge-based play styles, and encourages you to try a little bit different of a play style, and I really do enjoy that, but it seems like this is now almost exclusive to mission teams, and it kind of takes away from what the original intention was, at least stated by this interview. Now, of course, you do have the option to get them out of supply drops. Obviously, the supply drop system is something that still a large majority of the people, at least that watch these videos, are kind of against. They don't believe in the system. They think it's a little bit of pay to win. It's unfair. However you want to spin it, there is definitely a large backlash against that in the community. So Salvage is once again obtained in there, but people don't necessarily want to pay into that so much in terms of keys or COD points, whatever it may be, but that also then creates another little divide here within the system, in which if you pay for Salvage and supply drops, well then that's something that it kind of buys into a pay to win, an advancement here on it, but that in itself I think is its own little bubble. I don't necessarily care too much about that, more so than just earning Salvage, because the problem arises that people will play long periods of time and still not get as much Salvage to get a weapon that they want. I personally don't even have, aside from a weapon that I randomly got in a supply drop, any legendary weapons, let alone epic weapons in Infinite Warfare yet, which I've played probably about a day's time so far on Infinite Warfare. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more, I don't know right off the top of my head, but it creates this divide now of not being able to get anything that you genuinely want to craft, and that was something that I was extremely excited about with the crafting system with Infinite Warfare whenever I first heard about it out at COD XP. Being able to genuinely unlock something rather than having to pay or test your luck with supply drops was absolutely fantastic, but now that this is kind of altered from what it seems like it was originally intended to be, that's something that is this now yet again another problem with the system? Now, something that then adds on to the problems here with this is that I've seen multiple cases over on Reddit where people will have hit max level on every single mission team, and then it feels like to them that salvage levels are almost an abysmally low level for earning them. So you'd get a decent amount every so often within salvage, but whenever you hit those max ranks, it drops off to almost no salvage earned. So at that point, you really are at the mercy of whatever you've bought already and hoping that you get some sort of thing out of maybe a random supply drop and that the RNG is not too horrible to you. So at this point, it almost becomes something that creates the problem of being very critical of what you buy within your time within Infinite Warfare, because if you do hit that 50 rank and it does then drop off for every mission team once you hit it, then you don't really have any way of getting salvage because it's not necessarily in the capacity it was meant to be, where you get it per game basis rather than per rank in mission team basis. And then it also then forces the hand to go into supply drops, getting more of those, and though it's just not something you have to really worry about per se if you grind out the game and you get a lot of keys, a lot of people definitely will start to turn to that pay-to-win COD point system that everybody thinks that it is. So at this point, I don't know how to really fix this other than to bring it back to a per game basis, assuming that this was even the intention whenever COD XP happened and this was something that was meant to be like this. I don't know if it's something that changed within the mentality or the design here of it, or if it's a business aspect for trying to market COD points or something like that to subtly change the feeling of supply drops within the community. I don't know. That might just be a little conspiracy theory here in my mind, but overall there is no doubt a very low amount of salvage earned per player, and as a result, it definitely hinders the ability of genuinely earning a weapon. So that said, I want to hear your feedback here on this. Do you think that this is something the salvage system should be changed up a little bit, where earn rates should be increased? And I'm not talking about for just a weekend, I'm talking about implementing an entirely different way for the system to be reworked so that it's something that does go on, again, a per game basis, or do you think it's all right now? Have you guys reached that 50 rank for every mission team and noticed any drop-offs? Whatever it may be, I'd love to hear your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. I want to get your feel on this because as I've been playing recently a lot more, it definitely feels like I haven't made any progress towards the weapons that I want, and it kind of sucks, not gonna lie. So I'd love to hear your thoughts down there in the comment section down below on this one. Leave your thoughts, whatever it may be about it, the salvage system in general. Do you love it, hate it? Do you think it's something that needs worked? Love to hear your thoughts, but thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoy the video, make sure you drop a like down below, and of course, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe to stay up to date with everything Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare Remastered here up on the channel. So thank you guys so much for watching. My name's been Nikolai Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care, and peace.